Hi, welcome. Today I'd like to talk about why we keep reacting even when we don't want to. So, if you are here, it probably means you're tired of reacting. Not just the reaction itself, but what comes after that. The guilt, the overthinking, the why did I do that again? And maybe even the fear that in those moments you are not showing up as the person or a parent or the partner you want to be. So, if you ever reacted and immediately thought, why did I do that again? This video will explain exactly why. So, you are not reacting because you lack control. You're reacting because something meaningful inside you is getting activated. And you haven't been shown how to work with it yet. So, what is actually happening when you get triggered? So, in the moment you react, it feels like it is about what just happened. It feels like it's just about this situation right now in front of us. But it's not. What's really happening is this: a belief you hold about yourself or another has just been activated. And that belief feels true in that moment. And it might sound like I've done something wrong, or I'm not respected. Another one could be I'm not important, I'm not safe, or I'm too much, or I'm not enough. So, for example, when your child doesn't listen, or your partner says something in a certain tone, or someone pulls away, it's not just the situation. It's what the situation seems to confirm about you. And your reaction is coming from that place. So, why haven't you been able to just stay calm? You may have already tried pausing, breathing, telling yourself to stay calm, counting, and sometimes it works for a moment, but it comes back again because the belief underneath hasn't changed. So even when you manage to stay quiet on the outside, inside you might still feel tight, emotional, overwhelmed, or like something is building. That's a sign that something deeper is asking for your attention. So, what is the shift that changes everything? If you want to stop reacting and start responding, this is the shift. Instead of trying to control the reaction, you learn to recognize what's being activated within you. So, in the moment, you gently turn inward and ask, what am I actually feeling right now? What does this situation mean about me? And what belief got activated? Even if you can't stop the reaction yet, that's perfectly okay. You have to be so gentle with yourself with this process and allow yourself to react in order to see some patterns, see what's emerging. Because the awareness alone begins to change the pattern itself. So when there's awareness, you are no longer completely inside the pattern. You are starting to see it. So what responding actually looks like? It doesn't mean that you never feel triggered. It just means that you relate to the trigger differently. Sometimes it looks like pausing for a few seconds, choosing softer words, walking away to regulate instead of escalating, and coming back to repair instead of staying stuck in guilt. And sometimes responding happens after the reaction. When we sit with ourselves and say, something got activated in me, what was that? That is where the real change begins. Because up until now, we've been perhaps blaming the outside on our triggers. He said that, she did that. And if we turn it around and just see what our internal state is, because no one can activate something that's not within us. And that's where the real change begins. So if you truly want to change how you respond, you have to go one layer deeper. And this is the part most people skip, but you don't want to. You have to meet the emotion underneath the reaction. Not analyze it, not fix it, but actually feel it. Because that emotion is connected to the belief. And that belief didn't start today. So when you allow yourself to stay with the feeling without pushing it away, you might start to notice something familiar about it. There's a younger version of you. Perhaps an older memory may surface, a feeling you carried along for a long time. So this is the moment where integration happens. Through presence, through shining the light of your awareness on the emotion. You are not trying to become a perfectly calm, never triggered version of yourself. You are just becoming someone who understands what's happening inside them. Someone who doesn't abandon themselves in hard moments anymore. Someone who knows how to come back safely. Someone who can repair without collapsing into shame. And that changes everything. Because when the belief begins to loosen, the reaction softens naturally. So we stop fighting as much with ourselves. We allow things to reveal themselves. So if you are listening to this and thinking, yes, this is exactly what happens to me, but I don't know how to do this on my own, what is helpful is being guided into a different way of relating to yourself, especially in the moments that feel hardest. So in our one-on-one emotional integration sessions, I help you recognize the beliefs behind your triggers, work safely with the emotions that come up, and gently shifting the patterns so you can start responding instead of reacting. And you don't have to keep figuring this out alone. And if you feel ready to learn how to meet yourself differently in those moments, you're welcome to work with me. And the link is in the description below. We'll take this one step at a time, at your pace, in a way that feels safe and supportive. I would love to join with you. Thank you for now, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye. I can see the sun. too.